Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, you might have seen on the thumbnail, but I want to talk about a pretty new trap that has got me and some of my clanmates here in the game since the last major update. And that's because, don't get me wrong, this is a great thing, but not a great thing to get trapped. Is to do with gear. Now, recently, I forget how many weeks it's been now, but since they had the free gear removal in Raid Shadow Legends, which is an amazing quality of life feature, I've been running into some issues where I've been building a lot of global gear sets, and this is something I also want to talk about in today's video because something that everyone should probably do. And now that gear is free to remove, that means that no longer do we need to kind of have a one gear set per character, basically, and that you could have just a handful of good sets for specific gear sets or types, DPS, tanks, healers, this kind of thing, or whatever you want to do for a variety of different reasons. And then you can just swap them between the characters that you need. We're also going to talk about faction crypts because this has made it significantly easier to do that. But there is one big pitfall that you need to remember when you're doing that, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So before we get started with the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen or in the link in the description to get yourself a free Karato Fox Hunter Legendary the Shadowkin and 3 amazing epics to go alongside him. Ugo, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong at account level 15, 30, and 40. And you can get yourself another amazing legendary Void champion to Hanorak by using the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Amazing support character there. So that's 2 legendaries and 3 epics to start yourself off. And of course, you're going to get Mikey, right? Because Mikey's still the login, right? The Michelangelo chase. So you're going to get 3 legendaries within 7 days, right? So crazy time to play. Anyways, let's get started with the video. So I've been doing a lot of faction wars. Let's start here, right? I've been doing a lot of faction wars. In fact, if you can see along the bottom, I am dangerously close. If I were to turn off my camera here, you can see I'm at 932 stars out of 945. I am 13 stars away from getting Lydia Death Siren, right? Who is amazing. And I'm very close. And part of the reason, and I'm kind of screwed for Shadowkin just now. I'm hoping that I get Lady Mikage finished very soon. I don't have a lot of good. I think I can't clear this boss. I don't think I can clear this boss. I have tried with a lot of different combinations. But one thing that I do want to mention is that because of the ability to gear swap, it is easier than ever to climb faction wars. In fact, the only ones I'm missing is last boss of Shadowkin, last boss of Bannerlord, which I might be able to do tomorrow actually because I have Mikey and I'm gonna book him out and stuff, and that should be fine. I might be able to carry that. And then I have Skinwalker 4 stars there, and the final boss of Knight's Revenant. So that's it. Those 4 factions is it for me to get Lydia the Death Siren. But how did I get there? And that was to do with gear swapping. Maybe I can't show you, but my Shadowkin, I mean, this is not a 63 star faction here, but just for example, I normally have 1 or 2 good characters, and then the rest are kind of level 40, level 50s that, I have in my roster because I pulled them and I just use them based on their kit, right? What I need. Now, again, not a good example because I haven't finished Shadowkin, but I just want to show you that basically I'm using my Hotatsu, my Michinaki, and these are other characters that I have, but I'm not really using them very well. But what I'm doing, though, is putting my gear from my other characters onto these characters. So, like, my main DPS set is temporarily on Arashi the Riptide. And then I have some other sets on Fenshi and Burungiri to keep him alive, that kind of thing. Give him some accuracy so he can land a stun. And the way that this is being done is that I basically if we go back to my main roster, I have my main characters, so to speak. I have my Commodus Darksmile, who you can see has 0 gear because his gear is on one of the Shadowkin characters right now. My Tholen, also one of my main DPS characters in my roster. His gear is currently on one of the other Shadowkin guys. And I have a bunch of characters that, if you were to scroll through, do not have gear on them because I've been swapping their gear around. Newt has a saved gear set as well. and and so on and so forth. You might see some gaps here or there. See, my seeker has been stripped for some other reason, and the problem though about doing all this, and it's amazing progression for faction wars. Like, don't get me wrong, this is truly amazing, and I'm so happy that they did this. I have a lot of global presets. Actually, in fact, I need more, but ignore what they're actually called. This is for me, like, I know who they're attached to. Like, support speed, this is my Esther Dream Song main set. Like, I know who it's supposed to belong to. I don't know, someone named this before. This was for my Hotatsu, right? And then I have Alice Instinct is actually for Tholen, but you can see it's currently on Arashi the Riptide, and the Tholen set is actually for Alice. I need to rename this and fix that up. And then I have a few other ones, right? I have Wukong, I have Commodus main HP, so that should be going to him, right? I have Stun 1, I have DPS 2 Yakarl, that guy, right? The Freeze guy, who I used for my Fire Knight hard mode. Stun 2, Stun 3 for Sinisha and Skull Crown. So I have a few of those that are running. My Newt set, my Arbiter speed set, my Seeker speed set, my Aniri Sand Devil set, and so on and so forth. But when I'm swapping them around, and I need to make a few more, honestly, I need to kind of use the Hell Hades, the artifact optimizer. There's a really, if you go to Hell Hades' website, they have this artifact optimizer tool that can, like, it's a third-party tool, but it basically goes through your inventory for you and helps you kind of build a better set based on the different algorithms and things like that. And it's just when I'm swapping things around for a variety of different content. I don't typically swap for arena, but what happens is I'm swapping for other content and I forget to swap it back for live arena, for classic arena, for tag arena. I forget to give it back to the characters that it's designed to be. And then I end up losing it. I'm like, what's going on? Or even worse is I'm running something like Clan Boss, right? And my main team, which is over here, you can see Hotatsu, Michinaki, Esther Dream Song, Farrakhan, and Tholen, especially because I move Tholen's gear around because he's like my main DPS. And I do a sim and I'm doing half as much or worse. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And so I've wasted my Demon Lord key for the day or for the 6 hours, right, until it refreshes. So that's something that you really need to watch out for. Like, basically make sure before you do, if you are doing this, make sure that you give your gear back to the original character that it was intended for, right? Or whatever, or fix your gear, because I've run into this a lot. Now, it's not a huge problem for certain pieces of content. I've done this for Doom Tower, right? I managed to get to Faye 120 on hard. Great. I can farm this. And I can, I bet you my Tholen doesn't even have the right gear equipped. So I have to go back to filter, preset manager, global. I don't know if there's a faster way to do this and try on and then equip his gear, right? And I think everyone else has their gear. Estrid has her gear. So then I can go back and then do my Dark Fey multi. Where this is a bigger problem is, say if you're using, you're doing the Dragon Tournament, which is ongoing right now. If you set your auto battles for like 1,000 plus energy or whatever it happens to be, and then you walk away, and then you realize that you do not have the proper gear attached to the right characters that you're autoing with, that is where you lose out on a lot because you weren't paying attention about your gear and who they were on before you started doing this. And that's where this can lead to a lot of problems. And so, as much as I love this new feature, it's made me acutely aware that I need to be sure of where my gear is and on which character, and making sure that I apply it to that character before I do anything. I didn't have this problem before because I wasn't swapping gear at all, really, like almost never. I would build a gear set for a character and then that was their gear, right? And sometimes I would do some adjustments, but I didn't do it that frequently, because building a gear set for a character can take some time, right? I think for those of us who play a little bit more and play more hours in the day, know that could happen, that you could spend there and sit here for like 30 minutes trying to get like the perfect gear set for that character, or even just playing around with the Hell Hades artifact optimizer and that kind of thing. So before the free gear removal, I was very meticulous about this and I didn't do that often, so I didn't have to worry about this. But now that I'm doing it literally every single day, because even for my faction crypts, like, there is no way that I could clear this faction crypt stuff like without the gear swap. Like, I gained so much star progress on this because of that. So that's something that I just wanted to make people aware about what's going on with that. The bigger problem, I think, like I said, is when you're wasting energy. and you're failing, and you're wondering why you're failing your dungeons because that, right? Because you didn't do that, you didn't swap back. So as much as I love this, it's also been, like I said, a great way to get higher stars in your faction wars. Like, this is something that everyone should go back and check. If you haven't made a lot of progress yourself, you know, build these global gear sets. Take a look at your factions and what characters, even epics. Like you would be surprised like how much leverage I have made on certain factions just by using epics, like level 40 epics. I haven't even taken them to 50. You know, on the left hand side here, you can see maybe on my roster. Let's go into horizontal mode. I have a ton of level 40s that I've been using in faction crypts. Lady Annabelle for Banner Lords, not Morag Bronzelock, Miststrider Dythe, you know, level 40, Stagnite, also Banner Lords level 40, Husk level 40, Royal Guard, level 40, you know, and so on. I have a bit of a row here of level 40 characters, especially Skinwalkers. I have a couple of these that I've been using. Archmage Helmet, still at level 40, Seer, Shaman, Broadmaw for Lizardman, Slix's Stripe Hide at level, and so on. So I have quite a few level 40s, and that's enough in a lot of instances to actually get you through faction wars, depending on what their kit is. Although it's better that if you have like one or two really strong characters from that faction to be able to carry, right? Like Tholan Falbeard, like carried most of my dwarf faction stuff. And then I had like Fabian for undead, and I don't know, Yakarl for barbarians, and there's always like one or two characters from each faction that really help you kind of carry that, especially if they're AoE nukers. But for the supporting acts, right, you can get through all the way to the end of faction crypts with like one or two strong characters and the rest of them at 40 or 50. Like, that's more than enough. And now is the best time to be pushing that, because Lydia the Death Song is amazing. I hope I can finish these last 4 faction crypts within a couple of weeks, right? I just need to find something, or find, you know, just kind of feng shui this a little bit so I can get that, because oh my god, I really want her. And so this was just a public service announcement for a couple of things about this trap, but also to get you guys to push your faction crypts, because I think that it is a little bit easier than you guys might think, especially with the ability to change your gear absolutely for free. So that's an amazing thing that I am glad that they brought to Raid Shadow Legends, and I just want to bring it to your guys' attention in case you weren't really thinking about that or utilizing it in that way. Now, of course, you can do it for just about everything. I'm going to have to spend some time this week, or when I have some solid time, to basically set up some new gear sets, because the great thing about that, though, is that you don't need as much gear anymore, because you don't need to pay for the gear swap. So I need to go through, I have 1,425 artifacts. I need to go through here and liquidate a lot of crap. I need to sell a lot of crap that I probably don't need, or that I thought I needed and I don't. Like, that is the kind of like the worst thing I think about Raid Shadow Legends, unfortunately, is the inventory management part. I don't enjoy that, and I think that I just need to spend some time and just maybe, you know, I'm honestly contemplating just going like this and selling it. I know it's not a good idea, but part of me wants to do this. It's 876 artifacts that are 5-star, purple, and legendary. That would clear up a lot of my issues, a lot of my inventory issues, but how much of that am I going to use, or maybe use? I don't know. And this is the problem. Please let me know what your solutions are in the comments down below, how to fix your gear problems, because I really just want to click that button, but I also don't want to screw myself. So that's going to be the end of the video. But before I go, I want to remind people that if you still haven't played Raid Shadow Legends, or made a new account or an alt account, download using the QR code for Karato Fox Hunter and 3 amazing epics, Ugo, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong at 15, 30, and 40 account level. Also, you can get yourself an amazing legendary character alongside all of them, to Hanorach, a void legendary super rare in Raid Shadow Legends, by using the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That's going to be it for me, everybody, and I'll see you all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.